Alright my people, sorry I had to cut the video and divide it into two because of the length. Please bear with me. So this is the stitching process and some other things that were done to the dress. Right. Alright, so I've joined it. I hope you see it. Okay. So now I'll remove this excess here. Okay. Now decide, like I said, I was going to use 6 inches for the slanted shoulder. I said I was going to use 6 inches. So I'll measure 5.5 so that by the time I'm sewing it will be 6 inches. So this is 5.5. And it's going to slant towards the left hand side. So this here is the left hand side. This is the left hand side here. Okay. For this side I'll use a shoulder of 3 inches. Okay. And with my ruler now, I'm going to draw the line. Okay. You can choose not to leave it straight, or I think I'll put a little bit of a curve. Okay. And this is better. So this is it for the back. And this is the lining for the back. So I'm going to use the lining now. Place this one on top of it. I hope you understand. You know this is supposed to be for this one. You know it's going to be like this. Okay, wrong side against wrong side by the time you are done lining. Okay. All right. And for this side also. So this is how I'm going to line it. I will sew from here, from this neck, like this, and then down. Then I'll sew here, turn it as usual. Then for this one, I will sew from here, like this, down to this point. Now this is the armhole, then I'll sew here. The armhole will be open, I'll also turn it. Okay. So when you do that, you have to notch this place for it to relax. Okay. And this is it for the front. I also joined it. Okay. So we are going to do the same thing here. Okay, having folded it like this, I will take away 3 inches just as I did at the back, at the shoulder. This is not a must too. Yours can be wider than this. Okay. Now I said the shoulder will be slanting towards the left hand side, which means this is the left hand side. Okay, so we are cutting like this, and I'm using 5.5 inches just as I did at the back also. Okay. Three inches. I have to put a little bit of curve, just small. Okay. So now this is it for the okay. So now I'll go to the machine. Sew this neck side first of all. When I sew, I'll open it up and top stitch. Okay, then I close the 2 sides. All right. Okay, now so I've done the lining. I also attached the one that has a shoulder. Okay. The next thing I will do now will be to attach the lower part. You know, I said I was going to augment the length. As you can see, I've done that. I hope you see it. Okay. So this is how the lining looks like. I hope you know how to line, as I didn't show this one. But if you don't, you place your lining at the right side of the fabric, assuming this is the lining. Let's assume this is our lining and this is our fabric. You place like this. This is the right side against the lining. At the lower side, you sew. I hope you understand. When you sew, you already notched the length of where your skirt or dress or whatever is. Okay, so when you sew, you pick your fabric like this, and then you drag your lining so that it goes inwards like this. You sew at the 2 sides. Okay, so now what I'll do now will be to, I also put the dart splits. Okay, this is, I measured 4.5 inches and notched it. My dart is 1/2 inch, so 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on the other side, making all together 1 inch. I hope you see this is 1/2 inch. Okay, I really hope you can see it. Hope you can see it. Okay, cool. And the length, normally I use 6 inches at the front. Sometimes I use 4 or 4.5. It depends. Then for the back, I have to make it long. The back must be longer than 6 inches. I mean the dart. For the back, it has to be longer than 6 inches. Okay, it's always longer than the front dart. Okay, so I'll go to the machine now and attach attach the center front here like this, making sure that the dart matches or is evenly balanced. Okay, I will sew. Then I also attach, join the two backs to the two sides to the back. Sorry. Okay, so I've attached the upper and the lower parts now. Next will be to put the zip. This is going to be an open slit, not an overlap. Okay. Okay. I'm going to sew from here to 21 inches. I'm stopping here. Okay. And my zipper allowance was 1.5 inches, but I know that I used 1/4 inch to line, so I should have about 1¼ or thereabout. So here. Okay. Alright, so from here to here is for my zip, but I'm closing from here to here. Okay, from here to here I'm going to sew. From here to here is for my zip. Okay. Okay, so I've attached the zip. Next will be to now close the two sides using the body measurement. So in order to do that, I've used my pin to hold it down. So I'll place I like working from the back so that the zip will form the midpoint. Bust 11.25. That's 45. Waist 39. Hip 48. So I'll go to the machine now and close them up. Before we now talk of the sleeve, so I'll just sew down and then down as well. Okay, so I've joined the two sides. So what is left now is to put the sleeve. Meanwhile, this person requested for a peplum to go with it, so I'm going to be making a detachable peplum. That is going to be a separate video anyway. So for the sleeve length is 13 inches, which is here. I hope you can see this. This is 13 inches. Okay. I'm going to be putting a small gathers at the shoulder side, which will take about 3 inches, which is here. That is 16. And then I put 1.5 inches for fold where the elastic is going to pass. Alright, so in all we have 17.5 inches. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to just use a freehand sketching for the sleeve. This is 3 inches we added. Sorry. It is 3 inches for the gathers. Okay, it is 3 inches for the gathers. So normally it's supposed to be like this. It's going to be so wide. I'm even thinking of to expand it more. Okay. Alright, so I now have like 40 inches here. Oh, 43. Okay. And then I'm using a freehand like I said. Okay. Now this is my 3 inches. This is for gathers. Okay. So I'll just connect it somewhere. And at this point, this upper part doesn't have to be wide as the round sleeve area. Yours can be wide though, but what it means is that the bulkiness of the gathers here will be much. Okay, if you extend it here, it's not bad. But what it means is that this place will now be fuller than you want it. So I'll just use 1 inch to fold it here. I'll be using this elastic. You just make sure you cut the quantity that will leave the person wearing it comfortable so that it doesn't have to be too tight. Okay. So I'll cut the second one. Alright, so I've cut the second one. I'll need to explain what I did. You know, the first one started from the shoulder, but this other one is like an off shoulder. Okay, don't worry about removing 6 inches. It's going to short the sleeve if you do that. Okay, what you need to do is, you see these 3 inches I added here for gathers, I removed it. Now you see it is the same measurement starting from here. I hope you see it. So I took this one off and then I measured this armhole. Okay, what I have here is 5 inches. This is it, 5 inches. Okay, now I added about 1.5 inches for fold, or 1 1/4 for fold for my elastic. I hope you remember. Okay, and then I measured my 5 inches. I added 1 inch, please, as allowance to the sleeve. Okay, so instead of 5 inches, you should be getting about 6 inches. Okay, this is 7. I'll still have to reduce it. I'll still have to reduce it. So the allowance here is 6 inches. Okay, 1 for the the armhole is 6 inches, 1 inch is for allowance. I hope you get that. So that's all I did. So I'm going to go to the machine now, fold this one using the allowance I made available for it. First of all, I'll fold it, put my elastic. Now here, the elastic has to be a little bit tight to hold the sleeve. Okay, for this one I'm working with, I think I'll use about me see. I'll use about 7.5 inches. That's what I'll use for this upper part. Then for the lower part, like I said, it doesn't have to be tight on whoever that is wearing it. The lower part, I'm going to be using 12 inches. Okay, so now I'll go to the machine, fold this one first, pass the elastic round. I'm passing from here, please. I will fold like this. Okay, I'll fold like this, pass the elastic. I'll fold the lower part as well, pass the elastic. Then I will close it up, leaving allowance of 1 inch like I explained already. And then I will attach it to our dress. Okay, so I've attached the off shoulder part. We are now left with the other side of the sleeve. Okay. I hope you see it. So when I'm done, this is what I'll be doing on the mannequin. When I'm done, I'll just be picking this sleeve at intervals. I'll pick and tack, pick, tack. You understand? At interval. I'm not making any marking so that the sleeve is not plain like this. Okay. Now for the other side of the sleeve, I'm going to draw my gathers. I already made my stitch. I'll do same on the other side. So you should have something like this. You make sure that what you have here will now go round the armhole. I hope you get. So next will be to now attach. Please let me also add, when you are joining your straight cut, try as much as possible to use the allowance you have at the hip down to the hemline. That way it will give you a very pencil straight cut. I hope you understand. If what you have here is 2 inches, maintain that 2 inches down to the hemline. It will be a guide for you. So I'll go to the machine and quickly attach the sleeve. Okay, so basically we've actually come to the end of the tutorial, but I'll still show you guys when I'm tacking the sleeve so that you see how I do it. But there is nothing difficult there. Let me use pin and do it. So you can just bring these two together like this. Tack. Bring this together. You're not taking in much, just a little. Just a little, please. So you just continue. I hope you see it. There's no rule here. This is not a Canadian smoking, please. You just tack it randomly. Okay. This is bad. So you just continue, just so the sleeve is not plain. Okay, you see it has another shape now. Okay, thank you very much for sticking with me till the end. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe, and you are highly welcomed. Please help us, encourage us by giving us your thumbs up. Also leave your comments in the comment section. Till we meet in my next tutorial, I love you as always. Keep being nice to people. Bye. My lovely people, please, I forgot I didn't talk about this back. I said it's going to be an open slit. So now what I will do will be to use my hem gum, press it down like this, press this one down the other way. Okay, I'll just use my hemming gum I'll place it behind here, and then use my pressing iron and press it down. Okay.